Chairman of Indirect Taxes Committee Caatulkumar Gupta said that dual GST model in India enhances cooperative federalism. Speaking to Doordarshan News, he said that 18 to 20% of revenue neutral rate under the GST will cover the revenue losses after the implementation of the GST.
So viewers, we have the chairman of the Indirect Taxes Committee, Mr. Atul Gupta. Hello, Mr. Gupta. Thanks for giving your precious time. If we look at the current economic situation, both in India and at the global perspective, how effective will be the implementation of GST, in India that will be helpful for the economy?
I believe that the GST will resolve number of issues in the upcoming, like the times to come. We are complying with more than 15 type of taxes, so which is there in the, which invites the litigation, time cost, money is involved. So all these situations or the disadvantages will not be there in the case of a GST regime. But based on my analysis, whatever the examples we are offering in the based on the whatever the papers are there in the public domain, that GST will reduce the prices not only in the intrastate but also in the case of an interstate.
And talking about the GST model itself, in many countries we have a single GST model, but we are expecting a dual GST model in India. Do you think that makes some difference in the Indian economic situation?
Basically, when we are talking about the federal system and we believe in the democracy, and we have to take a consensus from all the states, which are you are well aware that the constitution is giving us so much power to them. So single GST, I believe, will be a reality maybe after 10 years time. After that, dual GST will be in place and they will be well aware about the aspects. Now they are assisting for a single component, so it will be a dual component. But tomorrow it may be the reality that the single component can be there in terms of the GST. So maybe maybe we can have a dual model, but the less and less diversion should be there, even in the case of a dual GST model.
And talking about the revenue neutral rates, it is expected it would be around 18 to 20%. Would that be enough to cover the revenue losses?
I believe yes. And as far as I am concerned, I always used to say that we should have a study that okay, what is the consumption pattern of a particular state, and based on that only we should have a complete thorough study that when we are talking about the GST rate based on the RNR. Why I am saying so? Because today we are just calculating that what we are today getting, what should be the rate, but what about the threshold limit going down? So we have to see that by having these kind of measures, we will be augmenting the more revenue, meaning thereby we can have a lower RNR rate, at least for maybe a year or so, and let us see what will happen, because having more compliances, having more automation, it may be the situation that we have to reduce the RNR.
And finally, sir, how much ideal percentage should be the GST in India?
I can't say as such, because that required a complete study.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gupta, for giving your time. So that is Mr. Atul Gupta, the chairman of Indirect Taxes Committee, speaking to Doordarshan News.